Hello. I, the world has been a lot lately. I've been listening to the Bible. The gentleman that reads is fantastic. Like, phenomenal storyteller. Jesus is kind of a dick. Like, to his apostles. Like, those are your friends, those are your... I want to say homies, but I don't want to say homies, you know. And then he gets all heretic this and heretic that and calling them stupid and shit. I don't know. There's a sense of childhood nostalgia about it. I've also been reading, I found the Mother Goose nursery rhyme and the Aesop's Fable book that we had as kids. And I've been reading through them. And listening to the Bible has a similar feeling. And I do find myself drawn to more religious imagery. I mean, I've always loved me a good church painting, but so many paintings were just by the church for so long, you know? But there's nostalgia there. It's like Lisa Frank with Jesus, you know? Some of the nicest people I ever met, I met at church. I grew up and sometimes it seemed the only people that were kind to me were people at church. It meant a lot. The choir director was like grandma. Still write the letters. She's the only grandparent I have left. She played the organ and the piano. Liked Earl Grey tea and scotch. I don't know if these are still things that are true, but she's a quilter. I need to play Castle Panic. It has a I believe it was for my confirmation. She made like a little bag that had Bath and Body Works stuff inside because 10th grade. But it's the bag for our Castle Panic pieces. I should have to play that game because I want to see that bag. I should pull that out. We should do that tonight. That is what I'm going to suggest tonight. I am participating. I would like to play Castle Panic. Yo, me. But listening to Matthew, we used to do this like elaborate gospel reading for Easter, where it was like a mix between a play and an operetta, but you know, everyone just standing at their own podium or up in the choir loft. It would go in and out of like a lot of Jesus's words were songs that were really beautiful, and we also had fun things like we gotta shout, Barabbas, Barabbas, we want Barabbas! Which, yelling in church, fun. That ball hit the dog in the butt. Sorry, dog. Next up is Mark. I hope he's a better writer than Matthew. I mean, I understand these are like translations. In theory, this is fairly up to date. Physical Bible I have is the New Testament. It's been like 10 years. So it says things very differently. I think there's more bequeaths in there. It's a beautiful little book. I keep it on my monitor on the base there. That and this beautiful little wooden cross. It's rounded. I don't think it's hand carved. I think it was made with, it was sanded down on a belt sander, but it's lovely. But with flat edges. And a little point that says, if God brings you to it, He'll bring you through it. Wouldn't that be nice? Church. Like, I loved church, and people there felt like family. I was there fairly often for choir practice. When I was older, I would go to the kids' choir practice and the adults' choir practice, because I was going to be there every Sunday anyways. And I also did whatever it's called when you stand up and lead the singing. So there were some weekends that I went to church on Saturday, and then I went to church on Sunday. So I heard these stories a lot, and whether it's in the words themselves or song, I've spent such a large portion of my life with this stuff, and while a lot of it has repulsed me for a very long time, and I still have feelings about the Catholic Church. But I have nostalgia for church. I don't want to go, but I'm okay with going back there to take a little walk. That place felt so safe. It was so weird to be back there. A friend's mom died, and we went to the funeral. It was maybe 7 years ago now, 7 years ago. There was a different guy. It looked similar. I don't think it had changed. It had been renovated when I was attending, singing, frequenting. Got these beautiful fake marble pillars. Painted. The walls were painted like beautiful stained glass windows, and sitting up in the choir loft, you could sit right next to it, and you couldn't touch it, because they had been double painted, but you come so close to touch it. Beautiful and shiny like candy. There was St. Peter choir loft with his keys. The brushstrokes of his face and his hands on the glass. It was beautiful. Also, lighting, not super bright in church. And I was always real good in like, oh my goodness, I forgot the word. Once a week at the end of the school day, I would be excused early with some other kids to go to a small building owned by the church that was like adjacent to the school, and we would go there for Sunday school, what we would do like Wednesday afternoon or whatever, for an hour. And I was always really good at that. I was obnoxious about it as a child, I'm sure. There is something very Hermione Granger about me. I wanted positive attention wherever the fuck I could get it. There's a mega church nearby. Yeah, no, thank you. I want my church full of incense and smelling and shit. If I go, I'd want to go to, like, I think there's a cathedral in the city. Maybe I'll do that sometime. Maybe I'll go for Easter. Not the baskets and bunnies part, but the holiday of Easter was always my favorite. So listening to Matthew, which is the book that our plaything was from, I sing along in my head, do the shouting. We would get, like, someone would get to be Peter and deny Jesus 3 times. And I think once I got to say, "Surely you were with him," but I don't know, so I'm interested to see how Mark feels. I guess other notes on Matthew. Good God. Jesus loved calling people hypocrites. At least according to it. And I don't think Jesus knew how mustard seeds work. I really don't think he understood how plants work. Mary Magdalene only got mentioned at the crucifixion, and she was there with Mary, the mother of someone. It wasn't the mother of Jesus, that's not what they said. But they kept calling her the other Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. Jesus Christ Superstar is one of, like, the greatest works of art ever, and the 70s movie specifically. And that Herod makes me happy. Jesus also talked a lot about trees, and you can tell the quality of a tree by its fruit. Good fruit, good tree, bad fruit, Satan tree. I think by the fruit in the world right now, we might come from a bad tree. Rotten food, rotten country. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 bad